Anybody remember The Simpsons and all the cartoons that they had throughout the years, and how some of them have actually depicted real events that have happened? I mean, to the very little detail of a shirt, of a hat, of a stairway, of a wave. Isn't it eerie to know that maybe there is a such thing as time travel? However, what if it is true? What if all of this stuff that they're showing us is to prepare us for something? And I don't like to fearmonger about stuff. However, I like to prepare for it. If it's going to happen, it will happen. If it's happening right now, well, some of you might not even be prepared for what's to come next. What am I talking about? Let's get into it. I'm talking about one word. It's called survival. Okay? We've seen this world go from this way to this way in a matter of 3 years. And what this is a little bit of stability to no stability. Everything's all out there, and now you're wondering, how the hell am I going to survive this? Well, there are many ways that you do survive it, and there are many ways you thrive in it. Thus, the word survive and thrive. I came up with that word for my own store because that's what I wanted to do, because I'm trying to help people out. Get prepared, get ready for whatever's to come. Why am I making podcasts like this? Because social apps such as TikTok, Twitter, formerly known as X, now YouTube, are showing us that maybe we should prepare. We should prepare to survive. Whether you're in the city or you're in the country, there are many ways to try to survive this. What is this? I don't know. What is the basic need of human being survival, though? Shelter, food, water, and peace of mind or wherever they're at. That's it. They are trying to exist and they're trying to live on. No matter, my phone. Maybe that was the key, to live on, right? And keep it at that. In spite of any accident or ordeal or anything that came out of like some difficult, chaotic circumstance, people are trying to survive. And if you don't know this or not, with all the anxieties and panics going on, that's the flight or fight hormone coming out of you. That amygdala is kicking in, that hormone of adrenaline. You're trying to, I think that's what it is, or it's the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system are kicking in, are way too high, and they're staying on and alert. What does that mean? It means that we are at a heightened stage of preparedness. And if you're not getting prepared and you're just saying, hey, what you're talking about, Mark, is you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. This is not for you. I suggest you shut this off, go to the next podcast. This is for the person who feels it, who knows something's going on, who knows that, hey, they don't want to tell us, and by they, it can be the government, it could be people that are in charge. They don't want to tell us, when most of us probably don't even know what's happening, but we have an innate nature to feel like something's going on. So I want to share with you, for those that are in the city and in the country, in the sticks, you already know how to do it. If you're living in the sticks, I don't have to talk to you. You're already pretty much self-sustaining. This is for my city folk. And for some of my country folk who are out there trying to figure things out as well. Maybe you're just in a farm somewhere. You're like, I know how to farm. I know how to do this. I think you should be all right. But this is for mainly my urban people who want to get out to the sticks. Remember, when you're surviving, it's not about the conditions of your living being comfortable. They're going to be uncomfortable. Whether you're in the city, in the country, wherever it is, you're going to be uncomfortable. But you're still living, right? What if I tell you it doesn't have to be that uncomfortable? What if I tell you you can prepare for these things and all the harshness of it can be cut out of it? Or at least a majority of it can, because you prepared. It's possible, people. And it's possible for you today to do that, especially for my urban folks. I'm going to call my city folks my urban folks. I've lived in big cities before. In Texas, California, and in Illinois. I've lived in big cities. I've been to big cities. There's millions of people in the cities. How do you survive? You're not going to run out into the country. It's for what? I think you would do better to survive in the city. I would think so. There's more of you. in the city to try to survive versus out there in the country, and then you don't know who's out there or what's out there. Whether you're wandering through the city streets or exploring like the hidden alleys, you need survival strategies. You need survival strategies that will help you stay safe and prepared. Well, right now, you can prepare by being an urban explorer. Know your city, know your surroundings, know the people, know the group. You can do it by driving by, seeing where you're at, knowing where you're not supposed to be, knowing what areas are pretty dangerous. If shit hits the fan, that dangerous area might be a lot more dangerous and hostile. Also, why is it important to be prepared in a city like that? Like when you're exploring the cities, how to be prepared. How are you going to walk out? How are you going to be the gray man? How are you not going to stand out? Because you don't want to stand out. I'm speaking to people who can get caught up in any type of situation. It doesn't have to be a chaotic event. It could be rioting. That you were driving down the street, didn't realize people were rioting, looting, people were robbing a place, or just mass chaos because of our government's shutting down. And yes, our governments are headed towards that path. They're already shutting down on your rights to defend yourself, your rights to vote. They're telling you what the system wants you to do, or actually what the system is telling you to do. They're choosing for you what to do. You're not getting a choice. This is not the land of the free. This is Britain 2.0. And I don't know where we're heading, but I'm definitely here to help out. I'm definitely here to give whatever I can. And I'm not telling you this is the be all, save all. This is just minimal for you to get going one day at a time, one day after another. This is minimal. You can do more by keep looking for more. I'm just here to share what I have and what I know and what other people are sharing with me as well. You never know when you might need these survival skills, let alone if you have a family. That's a bigger deal to think about these things. How do you get them out? How do you protect them? How do you provide for them when stuff like this happens? Number one, you need to be aware of your surroundings at all times. I'm saying this right now. It is a necessity in this day of age. People that came over from the other side of the border, you need to be prepared for stuff. I'm not saying you need to be arming yourself with guns. That's on you if you want to. Just be aware of your surroundings. If you see something happening that way, go that way. If you get caught up in it and you saw it, you're liable to get in trouble yourself because you could have avoided it. Always have a plan before you venture out. That's tip number 2. Have a plan before you venture anywhere. Know where you're going and why you're going and for how long you're going. Let somebody know those details if you can. Trust your instincts. Know when to seek help and know when to get away. You need to find the safest places in your city if you ever need assistance. Now, again, it doesn't have to be a chaotic event. It can just be any event that changes the infrastructure or the legal system or the way things are handled legally in your city or province or state. I say province, maybe I'm talking to my Canadian folks, but it can be for anybody. Make sure that you have an emergency preparedness, like a kit, backpack, bug out bag. If you have a bug out bag, you make sure you have a place to bug out too. Don't just go aimlessly into the wilderness. That's a bad idea. Make sure you have a communication plan, essentially, for you and your family, or those that are in your group. Make sure that you know how you're going to communicate and what you're going to say and not say. Know when to use services, emergency services like 911, and know when it's done and it's not there and you have to defend yourself. Know the difference. Be aware of these things. I'm not saying be super paranoid. I just said be super vigilant. Know where to store your emergency supplies. At home or on the go, just know where they're at. You do not want to get infections out there. If you do, get some hydrogen peroxide. If you get cuts and scrapes, make sure you clean things up. But definitely have that. My next tip, and I don't know if it's 5, 6, or 7. I don't know which one it is now. Your self-defense techniques. How are you going to defend yourself? Are you going to arm yourself? Are you going to have a firearm, knife, machete, bat, slingshot? I'm being funny when I say slingshot, but what are you going to arm yourself with? How are you going to protect yourself if you ever feel threatened? If it gets to that point, self-defense training can be empowering. However, there are laws coming against it now. Biggest thing is learn how to verbally de-escalate a situation. We have seen many videos of people escalating things, and even police officers, and they don't know, or they were trained to do so and they won't do it, de-escalate the situation. You can be liable for stuff like that if there's still a legal system. If there's not a legal system and you are not de-escalating, you can catch yourself in a very, very ugly situation, especially when there's physical things going on. Learn how to de-escalate versus reacting in a physical manner. Make sure you learn right now where to learn about self-defense, especially in your area. Remember, being an urban explorer right now will help you be an urban survivalist later. Explorer first, survivalist later, and then an urban thrivalist. That's my name. That's my word. That's my name now. Thrivalist. I made that word up. Okay. First, you're gonna explore. You're gonna survive. And you'll thrive because you already have the experience of the two former ones. Explore. It's fun. Right now is a fun time. Right now, you can make it fun. Prepare. If it never happens, you can prepare the next generation or your kids. And if it does happen in their time, you're the one that helped them get to that preparation. Remember that exploring in your city can be cheap, free, but a wealth of information if the shit hits the fan in any place or any time. The more information you have to gather right now, the more you're able to apply it later on if something were to happen. It's important to stay safe and prepared at all times. I can't emphasize that as much as I usually do to all my family, my friends. You know, for us men, we're hunters and we're protectors and fathers as well, like myself. I'm always looking and scanning. Scanning's your biggest thing. Wherever you go, don't walk aimlessly. Okay? You see I'm like looking like this and this, that's walking aimlessly. Like you're just, that's not walking aimlessly. That's kind of like scanning everything. You're not trying to be paranoid. You're just aware of your surroundings, your environment. Being aware is okay. Being paranoid and what the hell, what the fuck? Not okay. You're operating out of fear versus operating out of confidence that you're just watching everything, right? Get prepared with some gear. Like I said, the bug out bag, a backpack. Have your fire starters, have food, have a blanket, have a what do you call it? The warm jackets. I mean, there's so many tools out there that you can get prepared with, and they don't cost that much. But if you have something like that, it's the same thing as if you were hiking and going out in the wilderness. You're surviving. The same thing. Why don't you get yourself prepared? It's easy. And as I speak about this, and I'm not getting into politics, but I see things popping on my Twitter feed. People trying to steal the elections. People are doing this with their laws. It's coming. Be prepared. Have your gear ready. If you don't know where to get gear, you're welcome to look at my store. surviveandthrive.store. Just like that. Survive, A-N-D, thrive. surviveandthrive.store. There's plenty of things you can look inside there. I suggest you get yourself a bag first to put it in. But make sure that you're prepared and explore. Go find out. Find out what's in the city. Especially this applies to the country folks in the small suburban towns. I think you are already familiar with it. And you already know what your getaway is, so you don't have too much to look around. You already know your people because usually small towns know people because it's a small town. This is my urban folk. I love you guys too. We're not against you because we're in the country or we're in the lakeside or we're in the suburbans. We're all one. We're all human beings trying to survive. Our store, we have everything you need to stay prepared out there, whether in the city or in the country, and survive and thrive. What does that mean? Explore, you're checking everything out, survive something crazy and thrive after it. The people that thrive after it do very well in their lives. And so do the people that follow them because they figured it out. They figured out how to manage such a chaotic situation. Also, keep in mind, if you want gear for your urban explorations and your urban adventures, check out our shop. We have stuff for that as well. I want you to have fun. I also want you to stay vigilant. I'm going to continue with another video speaking about wilderness survival and how preparation is key. Remember, survival is not a skill, it's a mindset. And it can be applied anywhere, whether it's in the city or in the wilderness. By understanding the pros and cons of your environment and being prepared with the right knowledge and gear, you can increase your chances of survival no matter where you find yourself at. Being prepared doesn't mean being paranoid. It just means you're being ready for whatever life throws your way. If you're interested in learning more about survival gear and emergency preparedness, check out our link. I'll have an ebook there for you, free, just to help you out. Thank you for watching this podcast, as we provide comprehensive comparisons of urban and wilderness survival and highlighting the preparation of both scenarios. Let us know if there's anything else we can assist you in, if you have any questions. Above all, respect the land, respect yourself, and respect others. You should be just fine. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.